Welcome to Darkness Falls. I'm your host Adnan. This is episode 9, Bella in the Wych Elm. In Darkness Falls, we delve into some of the most intriguing and puzzling criminal cases and mysterious incidents of all time. Today, we will be discussing the unsolved mystery of Bella in the Wych Elm, a gruesome murder that remains unsolved to this day. The case has fascinated and perplexed people for decades, with countless theories and speculations about what really happened to this mysterious woman. So buckle up as we journey into the past and try to unravel the enigma of Bella in the Wych Elm. In the early hours of April 18, 1943, 4 teenage boys were poaching in Hagley Woods in Worcestershire, England. As they wandered through the woods, they came across a large wych elm tree. To their horror, they discovered a human skull staring back at them from the hollow trunk. Upon closer inspection, they found that the skull was attached to a nearly complete skeleton, along with some tattered clothing and a gold wedding ring. The boys investigated the skull and put it back in the tree trunk. As they were trespassing, they decided not to tell their parents. However, one of the younger boys felt uneasy about it and told his parents, who informed the police. The identity of the remains was a mystery, and the case would become one of England's most infamous unsolved murders, known as Who Put Bella in the Wych Elm. The police launched an investigation into the identity of the woman and the circumstances surrounding her death. It soon became apparent that this was no ordinary murder case, as the woman had been stuffed inside the wych elm, a rare and unusual method of disposal. The investigation into the identity of the victim revealed that the remains belonged to a woman between the ages of 35 and 40, who had given birth at least once. The pathologist James Webster conducted a forensic examination and determined that the body was of a female who had been dead for at least 18 months, placing the time of death in or before October 1941. He also found a piece of taffeta in her mouth, suggesting that she died due to suffocation. Based on the measurement of the trunk where the body was found, Webster concluded that it must have been placed there soon after the killing while still warm, as it wouldn't have fit once rigor mortis has set in. Although the police were able to gather information about the woman's appearance from the items found with the body, the numerous missing persons report during World War II made it challenging to identify her. They cross-checked the available details with missing persons reports from the region but didn't find any conclusive matches. Furthermore, they contacted all the local dentists, as the woman's teeth were quite distinctive. Despite extensive efforts by the police to identify her identity remained a mystery. However, the case became even more mysterious when graffiti appeared in the area reading, "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?" In late December 1943, a graffiti message appeared on a wall in Upper Dean Street, Birmingham, with a clue related to the mystery stating, "Who put Bella down the Wych Elm? Hagley Woods." This provided investigators with new leads for identifying the victim. Similar graffiti has sporadically appeared on the Hagley obelisk since at least the 1970s, with a slightly modified question, "Who put Bella in the Wych Elm?" near where the woman's body was discovered. There are several theories surrounding the murder of Bella in the Wych Elm. Some suggested that Bella may have been a German spy who was captured by the British and then killed and placed inside the tree. This theory is based on the fact that the area where Bella's remains were found was near a British military base, and that German spies had been active in the area during the war. Historian Mark Greenway's theory that Bella may have been Clara Burrell, a German cabaret singer, is based on a combination of historical research and a letter allegedly written by a man who claimed to have witnessed Burrell's murder and her subsequent placement inside the tree. Greenway found records indicating that Burrell had been in England during the war and that she had a similar physical appearance to the reconstruction of Bella's face. He also found evidence suggesting that Burrell had worked as a spy for the Germans. However, some researchers have questioned the authenticity of the witness letter, and the theory remains unproven. Some have speculated that Bella's death may have been related to witchcraft or occult practices. The theory that Bella in the Wych Elm may have been the victim of witchcraft is based on the fact that the tree where her remains were found was said to have been used for such purposes in the past. Hagley Wood, the area where Bella's remains were discovered, was known to have been used for witchcraft rituals. The theory suggests that Bella may have been a sacrificial victim in a ritualistic killing. Some proponents of the theory point to the fact that the tree where her remains were found was a wych elm, which was believed to have been associated with magic and witchcraft in folklore. They suggest that the tree may have been chosen for the ritual because of its symbolic significance. Others have suggested that Bella's remains may have been placed in the tree as a form of sympathetic magic. Sympathetic magic is a form of magic that involves creating a connection between an object and the person or thing that the magic is intended to affect. In this case, it has been suggested that Bella's remains were placed in a tree as a way of ensuring that her spirit remained trapped there and could not cause harm to the people who had killed her. However, there is no concrete evidence to support the witchcraft theory. The police who investigated the case did not find any evidence of occult practices or ritualistic killings in the area. Furthermore, some researchers have pointed out that wych elm tree where Bella's remains were found was not particularly large or impressive and would not have been a particularly suitable location for a ritualistic killing. Despite the lack of evidence, the witchcraft theory remains one of the most intriguing aspects of the Bella in the Wych Elm mystery. It continues to capture the imagination of people around the world and adds to the overall mystique of the case. In 1953, journalist Wilfred Byford Jones revisited the still unsolved murder while writing under a pen name for the Express and Star newspaper. Byford Jones received numerous letters in response to his article, including one from a woman who went by Anna Claverley. Her letter began with an ominous message. "Finish your articles about Wych Elm crime by all means. They are interesting to your readers, but you will never solve the mystery. The one person who could give the answer is now beyond the jurisdiction of the earthly courts." Anna then hinted that she knew the identity of Bella's killer and that the individual died insane in 1942. She hinted that Bella was Dutch and illegally in England as of 1941. It was clear from her letter that Anna was either privy to the unknown details of the crime or she was making things up for attention. Regardless, the police persuaded her to meet with them in person along with Byford Jones. The woman turned out to be the wife of a Royal Air Force pilot and her name was Una Massop. According to Una Massop, her ex-husband Jack Massop worked among a group of pro-German conspirators who had been siphoning information about munitions and aircraft factories in the West Midlands to Germany. She claimed that Bella was also a spy operating within the same area and that Anna's ex-husband was present when Bella's body was put in the Wych Elm. She also mentioned another Dutch citizen named Van Ralt in connection with Bella's murder. Allegedly, Bella was murdered due to her extensive knowledge of the pro-German spy ring and her body was hidden to cover the trail of her killers. Another version of Anna's story says that her husband and Van Ralt were drinking in a local pub with Bella when she passed out. They put her unconscious body into their car and drove into Hagley Woods, where they put her body in a tree to teach her a lesson. When she woke up, she was unable to get out of the tree and died. This version, however, neglects to mention the piece of taffeta that had been found in Bella's mouth upon the discovery of her remains. A third similar version is that Anna's ex-husband helped hide Bella's body after Van Ralt killed her after an altercation in a local pub. According to Anna, her ex-husband was haunted by dreams of a skull in a tree and was deeply disturbed by the incident. By the time Bella's body was located, Jack Massop had died in St. George's Hospital in Stafford following a mental breakdown. Anna's claims were investigated by both MI5 and the police, but no arrests or new development arose. It is unclear how seriously her story was taken, especially since she didn't come forward until 12 years after the body was discovered and her ex-husband had passed away. Many have suggested that she may have been suffering from mental illness or seeking attention. Whatever the case may be, there is little concrete evidence to support her claims, and they remain a subject of debate among researchers and amateur sleuths to this day. What we do know is that Bella was a real person who met a tragic and gruesome end. Her remains were found in a lonely and remote spot, hidden away inside the hollow trunk of a tree. She was alone and unidentified, with no one to claim her body or mourn her passing. The case of Bella in the Wych Elm is a reminder of the fragility of human life and the mysteries that can surround it. It also serves as a cautionary tale of the dangers of secrets and espionage, and the lengths that people will go in order to protect them. As I close this episode, I leave you with the haunting words of the graffiti message that appeared on a wall in Birmingham in the 1950s. Who put Bella in the Wych Elm? Hagley Woods. It is a question that has puzzled and haunted people for decades, and one that may never be answered. Thank you for being with me throughout this episode. You can keep an eye on Darkness Falls podcast on YouTube and Facebook for future episodes. You can also follow Darkness Falls Pod on Instagram. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.